The US isn't the only country trying to get money for Ukraine. Israel and Taiwan. Out of this too. Ukraine needs $42 billion to keep making the great progress they have already made. Kristalina Georgieva is now the managing director of the IMF. What do I think is going on in Ukraine? Seems like a good place to test the digital dollar. I believe it is a test area for digital ID and most likely a social credit score as well. On the other hand, most Americans know that FTX was used to launder money. And they all think that it still happens every time we send money to Ukraine. Here's what Rand Paul had to say about this. And let the champagne flow, open the bottle. The leader of the Senate Democrats and the leader of Senate Republicans are on their way to Kiev. There are $60 billion there they've brought. They're going to Kiev with your money. But I don't know if it will be in cash or pallets. They didn't have much time left. We don't have the time or money to fix our border. We are being invaded by people coming across our border. In the last month, 80,000 people came in illegally, and all the Senate had time to do was get the money, cash and pallets of empty planes. Put on your best wine and fly to Kiev. My friends and customers who are immigrants, and they came to the US legally. Friends, I asked them what they thought about what was going on at the southern border. Ali said it should be closed right away because we don't know where these people are coming from or who they are yet. But they're flooding all of our major cities. I saw that as part of the Great Reset. And let's get rid of the income tax right away. Taxation without representation is tyranny. And I have no say in where my stolen money goes. Right now, I see this all over X, people saying I'm done paying taxes in the United States. When I pay my taxes, the money goes to another country. There are many issues in our country. Some people have 2 or 3 jobs, but are still homeless. At the same time, crime is going crazy. The cost of living is going up at the same time. There are also shrinkings going on. But still, we can't stop sending and spending money outside of the country. People are tired of paying taxes, and a lot of them will have to pay a lot of them next year when they cash out their crypto. The quiet part was said out loud by Jim Cramer. So many illegal immigrants are coming in, and the cost of housing is going up. I don't think this is a bad thing because we need so many workers. We just need to figure out how to make it happen. And Jim is right, housing and shelter prices are going through the roof, but I believe that, how about to burst, and when it does, tokenization will be used to fix it. You can wait and see, but Amazon also has a way out. After the World Economic Forum, Amazon now delivers pods. This is the next step in the Great Reset. These teenagers and young adults are buying tiny homes on Amazon for $30,000. It's 16.5 feet by 20 feet. When I saw this, I thought, wow, Amazon is now selling houses. But right now, that's all people can afford. Tiny homes, so Amazon sees a need for them. This brings us back to the idea of having nothing and being happy. This week, there were a lot of fireworks at the Bloomberg New Economy Forum, where political heavyweights, the Democratic Party, fought over the future of the US dollar with crypto supporter Mike Novogratz. And CEO of Galaxy Digital Hillary Clinton believes that Bitcoin could make the dollar less useful as a reserve currency. As Novogratz put it, reckless spending by both parties is the only thing that can hurt the dollar as a reserve currency. Since Trump and Biden took office, huge deficits have become normal. And we are now in the worst financial crisis I can remember. Bitcoin is not to blame. It's a report card on being responsible with money. I really believe that our government wants to bring down the US dollar. That's why they don't care how much they spend. But if the economy crashes, they have a plan for that too. As an economy crashes and isn't managed well, the money supply of a country drop to 0. And issuing new money is usually the only way to save it. The US Treasury dollar will replace the USD Federal Reserve note in 2025. At this point next year, one used is worth $1774. That's how long it takes to earn $1. You can see that on the debt clock as well. Find out what the M2 money supply is and ask why it's counting backwards. Find out what the US Treasury dollar is and why it's going up in value. And it will be released in 2025. Move your mouse over the USI icon to see what happened last time we tried to change money. This is what took place. There was Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. We already know how that turned out, so think about this. All right, ESRP and XLM and UMXL stable coins is what people have always called them for years. They were called that by the IMF and the US government in the past. This means that even if XRP became stable and pegged to a US dollar, we who own XRP would still get rich since it was paid in US dollars, right? There is a $1774 difference between one US dollar and one US Treasury dollar right now. So when they switch to the new currency, everything would have to be revalued, which would make XRP very expensive. If that were to happen, think about what one XRP could buy you soon. What else is going to happen next year? Because for CBDC, we might get it from the Treasury when they start earning. And if we get a CBDC, I think it will be linked to the new banking rules. So maybe a blockchain-based system that is backed by US gold reserves, but we'll have to wait and see. As I've said many times, we are going back to back money. And the central banks, you can see this happen with both silver-backed and gold-backed money. By the way, Mr. Heber has an idea too. It's perfectly fine to ask this question. Why hasn't Ripple been able to add a stable liquid coin to the XRP ledger in the past 10 years? Since Ripple sees private stable coins as a rival technology and is determined to make XRP linked currency between state-issued CBDC currencies and any other ideas. I think that makes sense. We see liquid stable coins on other networks. Like I always told you, why not the XRP ledger? XRP is meant to be more than just a world's bridge currency. Gold is popular with central banks all over the world. China bought nearly 300 tons of the yellow metal, August marking its 15th straight month for doing so. Other currencies like XRP would also be backed by gold. It'd be cheap to move all that value, but right now we're using US dollars to value XRP, which is backed only by huge amounts of debt. When an XRP moves against a gold-backed currency, the game changes. That's why I always told you that as ex-holders. We're going to get rich, and it will happen no matter what. All you have to do is keep holding on to this cryptocurrency. But you can see how it's all coming together now with that US Treasury dollar. That is definitely going to happen. And I heard someone earlier today say that wasn't going to happen. But think about it. The government will always be in charge. We've already seen the Fed hand over power to the Treasury. Now think about a CBDS. Since the Federal Reserve is not part of the US government, if the Fed tried to make a digital dollar right away, it would be shot down. But if the Treasury issues a digital dollar, it will definitely become law, especially with this administration in charge. That's why I said I believe we will have CBDC in the US. All over the world, things are moving quickly right now before the next election. Now the time frame changes so quickly, there are some places that will start using the CBDC this year. Think about it. What do you think of my idea if XRP does become a coin that is always equal to $1 dollar? Think about what X or 1 XRP can get you. Leave your thoughts in the section below if you think my theory is close or if you think I'm crazy. I like to tell you my ideas about things every once in a while because I see something, I think to myself, this is now going in a different direction. At this point, it looks like this is where we're going because if you own XRP, you already had a plan. And then think to that, what might happen with XRP next year for a while. But until then, be patient, keep a good attitude, and let's all get rich. Now I'm going to end this video. Thanks for watching and have a great Valentine's Day. Thanks to all of you in the next